Good morning, everybody. Just out of the hotel and with my key for a Triumph Speed 400. The bikes are lined up over here. I'm in Valencia for the international press launch of the 400 series here in Spain. Can't wait to do it. This bike is all new from Triumph and it's going to be a long day with off-road and on-road. Let's go! The first question that pops into my mind is that I would buy this bike or not. Okay, so I'm on the Speed 400, the new single cylinder for Triumph. Oh, red lights. Single cylinder with close to 40 HP and 400cc. Torque 37 Newton meters, weight 170 kilograms. Agile, yes, lightweight. It feels pretty lightweight in between the legs, pretty narrow, agile, and it switches direction like telepathic. Besides the good parts, there's always the question, should I buy this bike? Okay, let's put it like this. I've been on twisties, I've been in the city, and I've taken into consideration the power output, the way it feels. I'm not a novice rider, so I think for me, as a more experienced rider, this bike it's a lot of fun because it reacts very fast, it feels very agile, and I love the way I sit on it, the comfort level. It's a superb compromise made by the guys at Triumph. Made a quick stop for a photo, and I have to show you something, guys. I've just noticed there's a nice sound coming from this 400cc engine. Let me start it up so you'll get a feeling of it. This is the Scrambler, and it has a nice grunt for a 400cc Euro 5 engine. And if I roll the throttle up, it's not that bad considering it's a small displacement bike. It sounds very good, and let's check out even the speed version, because I think there's a small difference, but we will find it out together. Not so much of a difference. You get a feeling that this one revs a bit faster and higher, but there's no such thing. The only difference is in regards of power output and the output overall, it's the gearing, because the Scrambler has a bigger sprocket that makes it ride better in off-road compared to the Speed that rides better on the street. So this one is faster on the street, this one is suitable for gravel and off-roading. The electronics package on the bike includes traction control and ABS, but also full LED lights in the front, rear and turn lights. Everything looks very nice put together, the details are nicely made, this is lots of metal parts, and also we get ride-by-wire throttle. What I like the most is that the guys at Triumph didn't cut the costs anywhere. Instead of putting like Brembos, they made a braking system that says Vibre on it. You can stop very well.
The precision, it's quite good. I made some stoppies at some point today, and I noticed that the brakes on the Speed 400 are a bit better than on the Scrambler 400X. That's because of a different caliper on the front, although the Scrambler has a wider discs, and although the pads are a bit different, you don't feel the need for more stopping power on any of these two bikes. The Sportec Metzler tires are stick to the asphalt. Even the Karoo Street went like nuts today. The temperatures were quite low, 10 degrees, but we managed to do a good job. Just find Steve Sargent, and he's the expert on any Triumph model that you want to know some information about. So that's why I wanted to ask him some more details about this machine over here. We have the Scrambler 400 behind us, and tell me, walk me through. You have a new engine, completely new engine. You have the looks of a modern classic, and the quality is high, although the price is low.
Yep.
How did you manage, guys?
So what we've done for the first time with this motorcycle, we're doing a collaboration with another company. So you know, Triumph has always done everything itself, done our own development, our own testing, our own manufacturing. We do a lot of manufacturer components ourselves in-house. For this motorcycle, a lot of that process has been the same. So Triumph has done all of the styling on this motorcycle. We've done all of the chassis development, suspension development, etc., etc. But we've worked with Bajaj in India on the manufacturing side. That is their area of expertise. They manufacture millions of motorcycles every year, and they have a supply base in India who are capable of producing very, very good quality components at a very competitive price. So we are getting, for the price point, we are getting that advantage.
So the advantage of taking a partner, it's quite big for you guys, because you get the chance to build some more units. But everybody's afraid about the quality. Everybody will say, okay, so you do quality tests, so we don't have to fear anymore about the reliability of the bike.
Yep.
And since you've made this new engine, I've learned that you can do the service at
16,000 kilometers.
16,000 kilometers. So it's higher than usual bike, because usually you get 10,000. So why is that? You only get the same thing, the same principles of running an engine.
So in terms of the quality of the bike and the quality of the engine, so this bike has gone through exactly the same testing program that we would do with any Triumph motorcycle. So whether that's a Bonneville, a Rocket.
So that's an endurance test, huh?
So we do a lot of endurance testing when we're developing the motorcycles, and you know, it's a 400cc single, but we're not pushing the performance. You know, it's not a sports bike, if you like. So,
okay,
so actually, whilst we've got a very nice performance figure of 40 PS, and we've got 37.5 Newton meters of torque, and we've got a really nice broad spread of power and torque. It's not a sports bike engine, so we're not pushing it to that level where you need to do your service intervals very, very regularly. 16,000 kilometers is absolutely fine. And I can tell you this engine is super tough, super reliable, so it'll be absolutely fine.
I'm glad to hear that, because it's important, considering that people will buy Scramblers, they will want to do longer trips, so this is a very helpful feature. I like some things. I like that you fitted some premium tires, because these are close to premium tires. The Metzlers, these are the Karoo Streets.
These are the Karoo Streets.
And you have the...
You've got the M9 RRs on the Speed.
So they are pretty stick to the asphalt. I love the grip that they offer. Tell me, you have lots of optionals that are coming out, and also they are like 25 or something like that for the Scrambler, from what I remember.
Accessories.
Accessories.
Yeah. So, there's a lot of accessories that can make the bike more practical for touring, for example. So,
like this one over here.
So like this one over here, you've got the pannier on the left-hand side. This bike is fitted with a soft bag on the back,
rear,
but
yeah.
we also do a solid pannier on the back of the bike. There's a nice tank bag that you can put on there as well, and there's a roll bag that you can fit onto the rear pillion seat. So if you want to go touring on it, there's enough luggage capability there for you to be able to do that. We've got a screen for the front of the bike to give you a
That's
little
very
bit
helpful
more
because
wind protection.
this one is more upright, and I
Yeah.
felt it today.
Yeah. And then it comes as standard with some nice features as well, such as the hand guards. The radiator guard is fitted as standard, so you get protection on there from like stones being thrown at the bike. It's got a headlight grille comes as standard as well on the Scrambler.
Nice.
So to give you that little bit of protection if you want to take it off road, it's good.
Okay, give me an insight right now. There will be more variations on this 400cc engine?
So what I've said to everybody who's asked this question, because we get this question all the time.
I can imagine.
So once you have an engine platform like this,
You need to...
and everybody has been so positive about the performance of this engine. In fact, I think the one thing when we go riding the bikes with the press, we stop at the first coffee stop after 30 minutes, and you say to people, "What do you think about the bike?" And they go, "The engine." We just didn't expect that level of performance out of the engine. So we've got a really nice engine package here. And of course, in my job, as soon as we've got something like that, it's like, okay, what else can we do with it? So for sure we have plans.
Okay, so things will go on from here.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for this this interview, and hope I can test some more machines from this platform, and maybe why not a speeder, or maybe
Let's
an
wait and
adventure
see.
bike. Why not an adventure bike? Because it will be cool to have a
Yeah.
Tiger 400. I think there's quite a big market for this kind of machines, and me also, I'm interested about it.
Well, as we always say, if there's enough demand for something, then we'll make it.
Okay, so thank you.
All right. Thank you.
A bit chilly. We just got off the bikes, and I have to come up with the conclusions because it was a long day, a bit of off-road, on-road, beautiful twisty roads here around Spain. But I'm pretty pleased with the result because this new Triumph Speed 400, it's a superb base. Although it's a single cylinder, the character of the engine, the power output, and also the way it delivers feels quite natural, and I don't think there are points to be improved over here. You don't have riding modes, but you have a nice ride-by-wire throttle that can handle riding modes. Maybe in the future the guys at Triumph will do this, because this bike right now is the benchmark in this segment. What's also very cool about it is that the single cylinder doesn't come up with vibes at higher RPM and no heat at all. The way they blend it in, it's very nicely finished with the frame and the radiator, which is black in the same color as the engine. This radiator looking fins, and the whole modern the whole modern theme blends together with the classic. So it's a superbly finished machine. No downsides in regards of materials, no things that are not meant to be here. Everything is nicely put together, so the quality level is quite high. Although everybody thinks, well, this bike it's built by Bajaj or it's built in Thailand, so that shouldn't be very high quality, but it is, and it feels high quality and reacts very, very good. I've said only good things so far. Let's talk about the suspension, because you have an upside down front fork here and a single shock on the rear that can handle some preload adjustments. This Speed 400 feels very agile and very easy to steer from a leg to another. It's a pleasure to ride on twisties. The suspension offers you lots of feedback when riding on street, but the speeds are not that high. You can handle it novice rider, a bit more better rider, you can do it no problem. But on the other hand, you have the Scrambler 400, which has a higher stance, longer travel suspension, both front and rear, so it can handle some off-roading. For the front wheels, you have a 17-inch front wheel on the Speed 400 and 19 on the Scrambler. The cool part is that they got some very good tires, the Metzlers, the Sportec M9 on the Speed, and there's also this Metzler Karoo Street on the Scrambler. They offer lots of grip. We went pretty fast on twisties. We kind of wanted to push the bikes as safe as possible to the limit, but everything was amazing. The bikes stick to the ground and it felt very, very good. Let's talk about the riding position, because you have a different styling and different riding position for these two machines. They don't, they only share the frame and the engine, but they are so different in regards of the way they feel and the way they react on twisties. This one, I would put it as a bike that can handle very easy the traffic, and also it will go very fast on twisties. At least this is the way I felt it today. And the position is a bit engaging when you're on the saddle. You get the handlebar close to you, and the foot pegs are a bit higher than on the Scrambler. This makes it very agile, and it gives you the feeling that you can ride it very fast. The handlebar has a quite comfortable position, and also the gas tank, although it's narrow, you get a feel of the bike and you can go along on twisties. It's very easy to flick, and it will give you the impression of a nice and easy to ride machine. The Scrambler, on the other hand, it's higher. You have the lowered foot pegs, as I said before, and the handlebar comes higher. So you are upright, you take lots of wind in front of you. Therefore, it might feel a bit less sportier than the Speed. But we managed to keep up the pace with both machines. The styling is impressive. The clock is new. I love the round headlight. This theme inspired by the Bonneville, and also the Scrambler theme. It's filled with nice details, like this grilled headlight mesh over here, the handguards, the two saddles for the Scramblers, also the exhaust that comes swiping on the right side. The differences are quite small, but the feeling is huge. Makes it a huge difference, because this one, it can go a bit on off-road, but it has a different styling and a different approach. The Speed, it's the bike that you need to consider when you have a budget limited to close to 5,500 euros. You can buy this one and you'll be very, very happy. Meanwhile, the bigger one, the bigger brother, the Scrambler 400X, it's a bit more expensive. It comes close to 6,300 euros, but you get small details that count in. Also, the weight, it's quite important. When you move them around, look at this, it's very easy to move it around. It's 170 kilograms wet weight, 13-liter fuel tank over here, and also on the Scrambler. The Scrambler, it's 90 kilograms more, so close to 180. But most important, you have, as I said, 13 liters of fuel inside the tank. Meanwhile, you have to think about the fuel consumption. Okay, you don't have to get friends with the gas stations, because this one eats around 4 liters per 100 kilometers. This makes it like a sportier pace. But if you lower the pace, you can go like 3.5. The guys at Triumph told us that the fuel consumption can go as low as 3.5 liters. Yeah, so let's put it like this. It's a fair thing. You can get almost 300 kilometers before going to the fuel station. The comfort level is higher on the Scrambler 400X. I think the saddle has more plushness, and also the suspension is less stiff and has a longer travel. Maybe if you add up the optional windshield, because you have a list of options that you can add up for the Scrambler. There are more than 25 optional parts that you can add up. And I love the way they thought about things that you need, like this USB-C plug that you have in front of the headlight over here, which is very helpful to keep something charged. Also, If you look at the dash, you will see that you have the gear and the usual information that you actually need when riding a machine. The gear, it's pretty high over there. You have large numbers that you can see. The analog clock, it's also about stylish, and it makes it even beautiful. Overall, I had a very good time with these two bikes, and most important, I need to go back home and put them against the other motorcycles in this class, because we will do some comparisons. So far, Triumph has nailed it with this 400 cc new motorcycles in the lineup, because they will bring up lots of new customers. They already did in India like 16,000, I think. 16,000 new orders that they already delivered for that market. So I'm expecting this also in Europe. They are very cool looking, and they have a very nice and attractive price. Only 5,600 euros for the Speed 400 and 6,300 for this Scrambler over here. Doesn't vibe, feels very sporty. You can go on gravel with the Scrambler. You can look very good and attract the view of your friends. And also, if you think about riding with your friends that have larger displacement motorcycles, when going on a trip, no problem. The Speed 400 would actually keep up the pace with any kind of bike, because it feels agile, alive, and good looking. So this is it from Valencia. Can't wait to get back home and do some comparisons with different machines on the market. See you guys.